green background.
Yeah, there's some cool animated ones too.
Yeah, we
Great.
can definitely do one for you. So
Amazing.
I think we have everyone here. Is there anyone from the team do you want to bring up stage, Andy?
We can maybe start here, and then I may pull up a couple people from our team as
Sure,
we
sure.
go. But for those in the audience, the master, a lot of people on the Eco team worked on this partnership, but the two biggest masterminds are Daniel and Dave, who you'll both see in our Discord and yours, and they drove a lot of this. So super excited for them to be here too.
Cool. So, all right, let's get the show running. So, welcome, Climates, for to another AMA session today. And it's really exciting because today itself we have our flagship Klima Infinity partner Eco. I think that we have keeping it under the wraps for so long, and you might have noticed. I think it's pretty obvious right now. There's been a lot of points exchanges happening in the Discord, which I'll let the team, or rather Andy, to explain more about it later. So today we first of all we're going to do a first introduction of Eco, followed by some questions that we'll have prepared for this AMA, what's in store going forward, and of course maybe some alpha from Eco themselves. And last but not least, we'll open up the floor for questions from anyone tuning in. So please feel free to raise up your hand and we'll do our very best to bring you up on stage in order. So just a bit of housekeeping rules. Please keep the questions to eco-related ones. Because again, the highlight for today or the superstar today is about eco, right? If you haven't met, my name is Reiku. I'm the lead for community at Klima, and I'm joined on stage with our community events lead, Slaptain. We have Golan from the partnership team and our core member, little yapper here. Unfortunately, I one of our community, or rather the community lead for moderation, is unable to join us for today. But I just want to give a big shout out to him because he has been working very hard behind the scenes, coordinating between Klima and Eco itself. So let's start with introduction from Andy, and I'm really excited to have him. He's the CEO from Eco, and Andy, maybe you can give us a quick introduction of yourself, your background in the crypto, your background into crypto, and share with us a quick summary what Eco is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the introduction. Really excited to be here and very excited for this partnership, which we'll talk more about here in a few minutes. But yeah, everyone, my name's Andy. I'm the CEO of Eco. Before Eco, I was co-founded and ran a company called CoinList, which some of you may have heard of, runs token sales for many of the best crypto assets in the space, and now operates an exchange and a bunch of other businesses too. So I co-founded CoinList in 2017 before coming over and taking the reins at Eco in 2020. I've been in the space for longer than that, though. I got started back in 2012 or 2013. Co-founded the Stanford Bitcoin Group, which was led by a guy named Balaji Srinivasan, who a lot of you may know. Ended up being the CTO of Coinbase and a partner in Andreessen Horowitz, but he was my professor at the time and helped get me into crypto, get me into Bitcoin back in 2012 or 2013. And yeah, now at Eco, we're building a few things. Eco's mission is to put people's money back to work for them, building smart money, or now with this partnership, building smart, clean money. And that takes a couple forms. One is the Eco app, which is a replacement for your bank. So if you go to eco.com, you'll see all about this product. It replaces your bank with something better, a single balance for saving, spending, sending, making money all in one place with better rewards than anything else out there. So that's a really great product. It's unfortunately only available for the US right now, most states, but we're working on expanding that more broadly and putting more people's money back to work for them. And then relatedly, but a little bit separately, we have our kind of crypto community and our own Discord, and we're building a system that we call Eco Points. And Eco Points bridge across the app and worldwide in the community more broadly. And we're building an open system rewards currency, which I'm sure we can talk more about what the future of points is and where we're going there. But that's the quick summary. Trying to put people's money back to work for them first with a great consumer financial product, and then more broadly with the evolution of these points.
Right, cool. So I just want to quick question for you. I think everyone is also interested to know about. as well. Like, how and when do you find out about KlimaDAO?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us on the Eco team have been paying attention since project got started, and just watching really closely and being engaged in seeing how that was evolving. And it's been amazing to see this community grow from the earliest days. So yeah, I think a lot of us independently had just found the project and were watching it. But then this was really brought together both by a couple members who are both a part of the Eco community and the Klima community, who thought there was something here, and then Daniel on our team is a longtime Climate and was really pushing for bringing something together here, and that's how it all happened.
Cool, cool. And I think this is a question I always like to ask as well. So why did Eco wanted to partner with KlimaDAO and sign up for Klima Infinity?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that. One of them is that we just believe in the project and believe in the mission and believe in what you're trying to do in the world. And if we can help support that and participate in that, then all the better. And it's incredibly appealing for us to be able to, indirectly or directly purchase these credits, and through Klima Infinity, be able to offset our footprint. And yeah, we believe that that's it's something that needs to happen in the world. And so if we can take steps towards doing that, then we should. And one of the things that's really appealing to us, and that we're already evangelizing to other people and will continue to evangelize to more and more, is how easy it is. With, I think for a lot of us, if you had asked me a year ago, hey, Andy, are you interested in offsetting Eco's footprint, or finding ways to do that? I would have said yes. And you would have said, hey, why haven't you done it yet? And the answer would be, I just don't even know where to start. And it's hard. And how do you assess what's good and legitimate and what's bad? And, there's so much out there that without becoming a deep expert, which I'm busy running Eco, I don't have time to become a deep expert on this. It's just hard to figure out, separating the signal from the noise and figuring out what the right way to do this is. And so that's part of the reason we've been so excited watching Klima, and now in particular partnering with you, and even more so using Klima Infinity, is just it being easy. You all have done the work to become world-class experts in this, and now we can be the beneficiaries of that, and the planet can be the beneficiary of that, and we can do it really easily. And so that's a really important piece in terms of the partnership, just that this is something that we believe in, and I know many others do too, and we want to support, and you all made it really easy, which is a testament to this community and the team to build such a great product. Separate from that, a reason to partner instead of just kind of finding a way to do it ourselves is that we believe, although Klima and Eco are working on somewhat different problems, at least superficially, Eco trying to put people's money back to work for them and build a better product that way, and Klima trying to save the planet, we're incredibly mission aligned. And in terms of building a better world, and doing so through community and through collaborative effort. And so finding a way to partner together, expose our communities to each other, build kind of functionality between the piece we're building, and eventually build a deeper and deeper integration is just really appealing. And that's been awesome. And the last thing I'll say, and this is probably more of an answer than you were looking for, but the alignment for our team is really important, but also just watching the Klima team ship and move so quickly. That's the sort of organization you want to partner with. And I think it's, partnerships can be challenging when organizations move at very different speeds, but when everyone's willing to move quickly and is capable of doing that, it makes a lot of sense. And we saw the Klima team on all fronts just moving really quickly across executing. I know everyone else in this room has seen that too. And so it's an organization we're really excited to partner with.
Well, thank you very much for all the kind words. I have to agree that the partnership team has been really hard at work, and so does the moderation team. I think maybe I'm biased, but speaking from as a community lead, our moderators has been working really hard to make sure that everyone enjoys themselves in the Discord, as well as making sure everyone has a really good experience. So really, thank you very much for all your kind words. So speaking about this collaboration having the same same vision, right? I've seen this thing about has been going around, this phrase called smart clean money. So where do you see this smart clean money going and our partnership?
Yeah, I think it starts with uh, fundamentally questioning what money can be used for. And I think from our perspective, in very different ways, Klima and Eco are exploring kind of the bounds of money, and what can money do? What can it mean? And more broadly, I think that's what this entire industry has been focused on over the last several years. And from our perspective, as we look towards the future, money will increasingly be something that people are choosing to use. So in today's world, in the traditional world, people don't make a lot of choice about their money. They just, you live in some place and you use that currency for everything, that nation's currency for everything, and that's the way things work. But my sense is that what crypto has begun to introduce to people is the idea of choice and the idea of decision making around money and the idea of voting with your capital in a meaningful way. And I don't just mean voting from a governance perspective, although that's important too, but I actually mean kind of signaling what you care about by what products you use and what assets you hold and all of that. And so when we talk about smart money, what we're mostly talking about is this Eco app product, and even these points at some level being a money that is built with a better product than anything else out there, better infrastructure than anything else out there, and better alignment than anything else out there. Those are the three tenets of smart money that we think about: better product, better infrastructure, and better alignment. And so when we think about what people can do with their money, we're seeking things that fit those criteria. And at the same time, Klima is clearly building clean money and building a carbon-backed currency. And that's a really important thing that people are going to want to be able to vote for and move their assets into, as we've seen a lot of us individually and now even Eco as a company have done. And so when I think about the future of smart, clean money, I think about the ways that those two missions can intertwine, and ways where someone who believes in the idea of smart money, a better product, better infrastructure, better alignment driven money, and someone who believes in the idea of clean money, something that is climate positive and helps affect positive change in that area of the world, how those two things can be blended together. And so I don't know exactly where that will go. We've got lots of ideas on where this partnership could move, but that's what I think the guiding principle will always be is, hey, if we think people out there believe in both of these models, then how can we bring them together and foster deeper collaboration and a more compelling set of products for people to use?
Reikuman, you're muted if you're speaking now.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's really, really good to hear that about this. I think the question that everyone's bugging right now all over the whole Discord is asking this very important question, which is, what is Eco Points, or what are Eco Points, and what do they mean for our communities?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So I'll answer that, but first I'll tell you a little bit of a story,
Sure.
which is that Eco launched our community, our Discord, and the points in just almost a year ago, in March of last year. It's almost the 1 year anniversary, and there were these points, and points were moving around. People could send these points to each other. We would send points out to people for doing certain things, and those points became such a core part of our community, and we anticipate them becoming a big part of our future. But we didn't really explain these points at all. And part of the joy and the fun here was, and if you can ask early Eco community members, I see a bunch of them, see a bunch of their familiar profile photos in the audience here. Part of the fun was everyone trying to figure out what these points were, and not knowing, and just participating because it felt right, and it felt like there was alignment there. And that lasted for quite a long time. And it wasn't until really the end of last year, last fall, probably 6 to 9 months, even longer, after we launched the Discord and launched points, that we started to talk about points. And as we always say, points are for research purposes only. They're part of a fun little experiment that we're all participating in and running. We published a couple posts finally towards the end of last year, 2 of them titled "What are these Eco Points?" and "The Points Are the Point." And those are the two kind of now canonical references on what points are, at least today, although there is much further they could go in the future. And so to take a line out of one of those posts, what are these eco points? We can post these links after as well. Eco points are a pro-social rewards layer for the internet. And fundamentally, we think that there is an interesting challenge out there on the internet where people are always doing positive things, whether that's something really small, like saying hello to a new community member and welcoming them, or something really big, like building a massive piece of infrastructure or a huge product or a website or something. And we've had everything along that spectrum happen within the eco community. But when someone does something positive on the internet, you have two choices. You could either send them something that has very hard direct value, like Venmo them $5. But that doesn't feel great if someone, welcomes someone to the community and then you Venmo'd someone $2. It doesn't feel like a good thing. It kind of removes all of the excitement from the interaction by having a hard quantified value put on the positivity. Or you could do an emoji reaction or like a post or do some very small little thing, but that's kind of meaningless. And so we created eco points as something in between, something that has a future, that is valuable in some way, but that value is intangible and there's no kind of direct pricing or value on it. And so what eco points are is a way to express your appreciation for someone else and reward them for doing something positive that you appreciate or is good for the community, with something that is in between and gets the best of both of those worlds. And so these eco points, they've been around about a year for the eco Discord, now about a week or two. Folks have been seeing them getting sent around in here, Klima Discord, and yeah, they're Klima as we may be your first flagship Infinity launch partner, but you are our first flagship eco points partner. And so these points move across the internet right now, across Discord. And if you have points, if you earn points in the Klima Discord, you can come to the eco Discord and your points will still be there and you can use them in the eco Discord or vice versa. And so what we're building is a interaction layer across the entire internet for people to exchange value and be rewarded. And we'll be adding, just as you're adding more Infinity partners, we will be adding more eco points partners. There'll be more and more servers and communities where those points will be fungible across those communities.
Yeah, cool. Great to hear that. Sorry, I was just giggling. I was just giggling at the back because someone just said total supply of points. I just thought it's so funny because
we get that question all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what really intrigues me is like, is there any possibility for eco points to be redeemable for things going forward? For example, this is just nothing's firmed up. Like eventually it could be redeemed for example, say hoodie, maybe a treasure, a ledger, or something like that. Is there a possibility like this happening in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're really interested in that direction and making points redeemable. But we think, could be hoodies, could be a treasure or a ledger, or it could be even more interesting and intangible things. So we're working on ways that points can be redeemed. But if, some great investor or role model or someone that you really appreciate would, sell you their time, spend half an hour talking to them for
Yeah.
points. Or what about baskets of different goods or all sorts of different things?
Yeah.
There's lots of possibilities out there, and we are working on making them redeemable. And that's, again, part of the vision of an open system rewards currency is exactly that, is something that can be used for things that you actually want. And we think the most interesting use cases are those where the value is intangible in some way,
Yep.
where it's not
Agreed.
kind of just trading for something, with a discrete value, but something that actually means something to you in some way.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, especially like there are people saying now in the chat saying like 100 points get a dinner date with Archie,
Yeah,
which is which is so funny. So yeah, I think this is really interesting to see that the evolution of eco points from a social currency that can be evolved in multiple ways, not just on as a way to say thank you or the way to interact within community members itself, but eventually this can be redeemable for other aspects, whether is it tangible or intangible items itself, which is
that's
really
exactly
really
right.
interesting. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm also known. This is very interesting. I'm known in the Discord as the alpha guy. So the question I need to ask is there any alpha from us from Eco itself?
Oh, great question. Alpha leaks.
Alpha leaks,
I'm
yeah.
glad. Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
thing to be known for.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do I have for alpha leaks?
Yeah.
There's a couple things I can share here. One of them is that I'll share two things.
Oh, sure. Wow, I like that.
One from an eco product perspective, from the
Mm-hmm,
app
mm-hmm.
itself. We are very, very, very close to being able to open up all of the U.S. states. Right now, we don't support all the U.S. states, and we are blindingly close. I don't have an exact date yet, but very, very close to opening up all the states. So if you're in the U.S., and we're still working on international as well, it's challenging to launch a financial technology product globally. But if you're in the U.S. and you're not in an eligible state, you will be soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Oh, yes, for sure.
And related to that, actually, I'll give two more things. Two more. Another one is if you are eligible to use the Eco app, if you're in one of the supported states right now, we are giving away some. Eco is giving away some Klima to the first eligible users that onboard to Eco. So if you go, there's actually a channel, I think, in the Klima Discord now, the Eco onboarding channel somewhere. And if you're one of the first eligible people to onboard to the Eco app, we'll give you obviously special white glove treatment as a climate. And we'll give you some Klima, some actual Klima tokens, which we've purchased. In addition to Klima, we purchased to offset our footprint. We also purchased some extra Klima to give away to people that onboard to the Eco app, which is exciting. And then the last thing I'll say, I don't know if this counts as an alpha leak, but we have spent a ton of time with the Klima team, and we'll be rolling out a bunch of bounties and challenges soon as ways to earn these points. So people are always asking, how do you earn points? Which is a great question. How does one earn points? And I would say there's broadly three ways to earn points. One of them is just doing nice things, being helpful, positive, additive to the communities, and just contributing and really big things. So the largest Eco points holders today that have earned their points over the last year in the Eco Discord did so for contributing large projects and building something really meaningful that got rewarded for all of their hard work and effort and alignment. I imagine the same will be true for the Klima community as well. So that's the second way to earn points. But the third is that we in the Eco community, as well as now coming up in the Klima community, run bounties and challenges that have kind of explicit points rewards associated with them. And so if you're interested in earning points, those are the three things you can do. You can do positive things and just generally be helpful. You can try and contribute large projects, or you can keep your eyes peeled for the bounties and challenges and earn points that way.
Yep. Thank you very much, Andy, for sharing that. But speaking of bounties, let me just do a quick segue to Slaptain, which is our lead for events to share about the bounties that are coming up very soon. Slaptain?
Reiku, that was a really nice segue, actually. That was very professionally done. I appreciate that. Yeah, so bounties. Now that we have these points and we have this wonderful partnership, we have an amazing tool to get the community of Klima, which I believe, and this isn't just lip service, to be one of the most intelligent, one of the most exciting, exuberant, vibrant communities that I've ever seen in DeFi, let alone in all of the internet. We can engage you and we can give you challenges or bounties. And in return, if you're successful in completing these bounties, we can reward you with these lovely, lovely eco points that are, in fact, clean money. So this is the launch week, and we will be doing a new bounty every day. And reikuman, the man who runs our Discord, as far as I'm concerned, along with Chaz, will be posting these bounties. And Reiku, are you actually ready to do that right now? Can we make that happen? All right, so reikuman is going to drop the first bounty. You're going to do that in community, right, Reiku?
No, I'm going to do it in announcements right now.
Okay, it will be under announcements. And it will all be laid out there. But the idea for this one is a social boost. So you will have 24 hours starting at the time that Reiku posted to get your first eco points by liking and retweeting a Twitter post that we have. And you'll have to take a screenshot of that, and you're going to have to post it in a channel in our Discord. If you guys haven't already seen it yet, on the left-hand side in our of the Discord, in the Channels tab, we have an Eco x Klima section, and there's something that says Bounty Submissions. If you guys haven't seen that already, go check it out. As I'm talking, go find it. It says Eco Onboarding Channel, Bounty Submission, Eco means check your points, right? So that's new to the Discord, and that's where we'll be performing or participating to get credit for the eco points. But all of the details will be laid out in the post. And so you'll have it there. You don't have to memorize what I just said. And just so you know, for these bounties, they could be something as simple as tweeting a response, or something way more complicated. Or I just thought, our good friend Andy, who is a wonderful person, maybe if we want to source a profile picture for him, right? A DeFi profile picture, so he can be one of the DeFi guys. Maybe that could be a community bounty, and you guys could come up with some sort of cool profile picture. Of course, if Andy would like that.
I'll send my own points for that one. That sounds great.
There you go. But that's the long and short of it, and very excited for this. And as they say, keep your eyes peeled for these, and there's definitely more where these come from. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Slaptain. So right now you should be seeing the announcements coming out right now. And no need that. We do have another 2 more challenges that's coming up soon. One is the meme contest that we're having as well. And at the end of the week, we're having a Klima X Eco Chess competition as well. So this is all 3 things that we can have it. You can look into that. So really excited to see all these things launch. And of course, right now, it's the best time for us to move into Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to raise up your hands. We'll bring you up on stage to ask you any questions. Again, housekeeping rules. All the questions should be eco-related, all right? So first up, we have Igor. So we have Igor here on the stage. I'm going to bring you up. So if you see that the ship, I just saw the all-time favorite guy, Lord Voldemort. It's here, the killer. Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll bring up the rest as well.
And as we're transitioning into Q&A, just want to thank Andy for not just his time, but all his kind words about KlimaDAO, our community, and he did not disappoint with the alpha. And again, I think it's reflected by how many attendees we have in this AMA. And I just want to echo, Andy, what you say, in terms of what also drew us to Eco we explain some of the reasons in a channel that Klimates can find or Econauts can find in your Discord, where we explain that in Eco and its community, we like you said, see kindred spirits who know digital money can build better and fair financial systems for people on the planet. And I think if you're an Econaut or if you're a Klimate, it probably means that, like Eco has written eloquently on, that we believe in the inevitability of open systems, the disintermediation power of blockchain, and of course that we only win when we all win together and tree. So on that note, we'll open up the floor for Q&A.
Yep. Thank you, Golan, for that. So we have a few people here coming on stage. For those who just received, you should see some requests to speak for Ego and Watson. But we have Lord Watermod here, Holdermod. So maybe you can unmute yourself, and if you have any questions for Andy or the partnership team.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Quick question. When you say onboarding onto the Eco app, do you have to sign up for your card in order to be able to interact with the points, or are they two separate things?
Great question. Even better username, but great question. So the Eco app and the Eco points and the Eco card are all related, but not necessary to use together. So points you can use, everyone here can use just in Discord, and use them, kind of across the internet that way. The Eco app is a place for you to put your US dollars and earn separate Eco points. And you can do that. And then within the Eco app, if you want, you can also use the Eco card, which allows you to spend your dollars anywhere. So the dollars that you put in the Eco app, you can use with the Eco card. The card is not it's a debit card, not a credit card. So there's no credit check or anything related to that. Very straightforward. But yeah, the Eco app allows you to deposit dollars, earn 2.5 to 5% APY on your dollars, get cash back at major merchants like Amazon and Uber and DoorDash, pay your bills, spend using the Eco card, and through all of that, you earn Eco points for doing all of those things in the app at the same time.
I see. Thank you for the clarification.
Sure thing.
All right. Thank you very much. If there's any questions you guys have, please feel free to raise your hand so that we can bring
I'm
up
also
Steve.
Yeah, I had a question too.
Sure.
If I can jump someone. We can still get more people up here, but for Andy, I mean, seems like most people are, disappointed or frustrated like with their typical banking solution, and Eco is obviously a new alternative to that. But yeah, for a lot of people that are using like other apps or like looking to switch over, seems like this is a lot more appealing and in line like with values. So for people that are coming over to Eco, like, is it a pretty easy transition for them? I mean, could you talk to maybe a little bit some about like who, like profile of people coming over? It's mostly focused in the US today. But is it millennials? Do people of all ages? I think it speaks to a lot of people's frustrations with their kind of, current financial solution. But yeah, just be curious to hear kind of insights on that side.
Yeah, it's a great question. Something we say a lot, and we mean this genuinely, is that Eco is for everyone. And to your point, everyone is frustrated with their bank. We've run some amazing consumer surveys, and basically nobody says, if you ask someone, hey, is most of your money in your bank account? People say yes. And then you say, do you think that's the best place for your money to be? Almost everyone says no, but they don't do anything about it. They don't know what to do about it. And that's across all demographics, and everyone feels that way. And so Eco really does try to serve everyone. We have a huge range of people on the product, from, people that are like in college all the way through, sometimes people invite their grandparents get on the app, and that's really exciting too. And so it's a huge range. I do think the most common segment is someone who is well banked, has a bank account at some big bank and has some money in it, but is just really frustrated with the system and earns decent wages and has a little bit of money and is just frustrated and wants to use the product. But we intentionally make it for everyone, from people who are underbanked or unbanked all the way through people who have lots of capital. And the intention is to build a product that's compelling across that whole range. And I do think it's an interesting challenge because, if you look in the consumer financial technology space, a lot of people are building very audience targeted products. So a lot of the neobanks out there are building for a specific audience and a specific segment of people. And our view has been, we're trying to build something bigger than that, that's for everyone, eventually globally, but at least now starting in the US. And it has to be a product that's good enough to serve every possible audience. Last thing I'll say is that we do, different people need different things in terms of understanding of kind of how the product works. And so we onboard users one-on-one, actually texting with them over a messaging product. And what that allows us to do is answer questions that different people have, because everyone has, the people in the audience here are going to have very different questions from someone that's never heard of crypto and, is only used to traditional banking and has never thought of anything else. And so we've built the kind of onboarding flow to account for that and make sure that everyone gets what they need and feels comfortable and understands what's going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of like what you touched on earlier from a corporate perspective, or from people wanting to know their carbon footprint. It's like, well, where do I start? And I think there's similar questions for people that, have a bank or are looking for different kind of financial solutions. Like, where do I start? Right? Like there's things that come to mind, but the hands-on onboarding is key. I mean, first of all, that's awesome. Typically we don't get that kind of support from any kind of financial products. So that's great. Plus, I think you can meet people right where they are to hear their concerns and figure out what are people, asking the most for some of these FAQs. But yeah, I think you guys have presented people with a viable solution to take action on something that maybe some people probably never have changed banks, or maybe, if you're new to that, it can be kind of a daunting process. So I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah. I would. One response to that, and then I do know there's someone else on stage here. I hadn't even really thought of that as a parallel between Eco and Klima, but now that you say it, it's super interesting that what each of these projects is doing is taking something that is out there. Like it is possible, the idea of accessing better financial services has been possible. The idea of offsetting your carbon footprint has been possible, but it's both of those things have been so inaccessible to people because it just hasn't been presented in a way that they can actually use and leverage. And like I was, I appreciate you're saying that. Like that's what we try and do with Eco, is make it so people can access these things. But yeah, it's exactly right what I said earlier, that the reason I'm now going to friends that run companies and saying, hey, we found this really easy way, by the way, it's crypto native, it's really cool, to offset your footprint, is incredibly exciting, because these people, everyone has the same feeling. They're like, I've always wanted to be able to do that, but I didn't realize it was an option. I didn't know how I could do it. And so, yeah, I think that's an awesome parallel. Anyway, sorry for running on, but whatever the next questions are here.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
Thank you very much. Napalm, what's your question?
Yeah, that's great.
Andy?
By the way, Crypto Knight, I think you may need to mute yourself here. So I got in just a little bit late, but from what I understand here, so eco points are a little nebulous. They're a little bit financial in a way. You can earn them by using Eco Card, but there's also, partially social aspect and a feel-good aspect. You can earn them by doing things both for the eco community, within the Klima community, things like that. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, and I hope it's okay for me to be very forward with you. It does feel a little lacking in the initial stages like this for uses for eco points. Have you looked at, and this may be alpha, you may not be ready to discuss, have you looked at ways to potentially use eco points to offset your own personal carbon footprint. And then that way, that would potentially be a way to kind of take eco points out of the system per se and make them more valuable for collecting. That's just one potential idea. And as I was initially like thinking about it, I was waiting to get on the stage. It may be best to do it in a way that is not necessarily always a one-for-one redemption or what have you. Perhaps maybe more of a system that, we have so many tons of carbon that we have set aside to be redeemed with eco points, and then the more the community kind of wants to bid that up and fight over it, well, then even more eco points are taken out of the system, making both eco points and tokenized carbon both more valuable, both at the same time. So that's just kind of one suggestion. I don't know if you're kind of already looking into that, or if maybe it was mentioned in the first like 5 minutes before I got on. But I wanted to share just an idea that I had and hear your thoughts, Andy.
I love that. I love that idea. Yeah, we've thought about a lot of different things. You can't leak all the alpha all at the same time, but we've thought about a lot of different things. I think that's extremely interesting. I also think one thing that's very exciting about this partnership is that we're putting together two pretty remarkable communities with a lot of skills and talents. And I'm very excited to see, I know some of the stuff that the Klima community's put together. I know everything the Eco community's put together. I'm excited to see what these communities can do together. And I'm not trying to shirk work here or anything, but I'd love to see things happen without, Eco Inc. being involved. How can we do these things as communities participating with each other that we think are good ideas and just go and execute on them? And I think that's really exciting. Obviously, we're happy to support however we can, but the most exciting thing for me is when we're able to do something, someone independently comes up with an idea and says, hey, I'm just going to go and work on this and deliver it. And that's where I think the biggest value comes. And it's also often where we reward a lot of points, is for people that go and execute on independent ideas. So we'll be working on all sorts of interesting ways to deepen the Eco Klima partnership. There's a ton of stuff we can do. I'm also excited to see what other people have to bring to the table. But I think that's a really excellent idea and fits extremely neatly into the ethos. You're almost proposing like Klima's genius mechanism layered on top of Klima itself. Like taking this mechanism of locking and then eventually retiring credits and saying, well, what if we did that? With eco points layered on top of that as well. And I think it's a super interesting concept. So yeah, we are excited about the possibilities. I appreciate the idea, and we will be exploring all of that. And I'd advise everyone else in here to do the same.
And even just to follow up on what Andy was saying, Napalm, you can see in the Eco onboarding channel that they top it off by mentioning, as a Climate Eco user, they'd love to hear how Climates would like to see Eco collaborate with KlimaDAO next. So, I guess Eco Discord could be a place for that, where, you can share some of these great ideas that, like Andy mentioned, I don't think yet the future alpha of where our partnership will go from here is yet fully baked, but I'll just reiterate that we're excited about the possibilities and see a lot of synergies between not just our missions but also our product offerings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. One very fast one, final question before I get off. Are Android users blocked at the moment? Is that coming soon?
Blocked at the moment. We're working on it. I don't have a timeline on that yet. That one kills me too. But we are working on it. We have a lot of stuff coming on the app side over the next couple months. But Android is high on our priority list. And yeah, don't have a timeline yet. I apologize for the droids in the crowd. But we're working on it as hard as we can.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Nepal. So Crypto Knight, I'm going to unmute you now. What's your question you have for us today?
I'm outside the US, as you probably tell from my accent. But when it does get outside to us, that's fine. But in the meantime, a concept that I've sort of been pondering, which I think could probably be a nice tie-up between Eco and Klima. Might take a bit of time to get there. But basically, this is the sort of idea that I'm sort of thinking about is, so in the physical world, I have physical assets that, for example, a house. You can't actually leverage the value of your house until you sell it. So the eco banking system could provide a way for me to go on chain with the value of my house, convert it into eco, whatever they are, and at the same time as onboarding that physical asset, could have the person who's onboarding that physical asset have to offset the value of that physical asset in terms of its eco footprint. So two things which would then give me as a person in the world the ability to leverage the physical asset, which in the physical world I can't leverage, and secondly offset automatically the carbon footprint of that asset.
And if these are the ideas that Klima community is coming up with just an hour after hearing about this partnership, I'm excited to see what happens over the next year or so. That's awesome. Yeah, that's another great one. And eco points are not, at least at this juncture, are not on chain, although it's something that's been proposed by members of the eco community at some point. So who knows? But one thing that's super exciting for me is, and one of the things that I think is most intellectually appealing to me about Klima's model is the fact that it is on chain. This is I'm preaching to the choir here. I know everyone here knows this, but the fact that it's on chain means that it's programmable, which means that things could be built that automatically integrate Klima and offset the footprint of some activity just in the flow of doing it. And I think right now in the world, the way offsets work is you do something in the physical world, and then you go and you purchase offsets afterwards. And those are two totally separate actions, transactions, separate effort, energy you have to expend to go and make that happen. And what's really exciting to me here, one of the things is, well, now that's not necessarily the case. Klima can just become a part of certain transactions happening or certain systems being used, and the offset can happen in the flow of doing the thing. And that is incredibly intellectually interesting. And I think the further we can go with that, the better. And I think Golan said this, or someone said this, but we talk a lot at Eco about the inevitability of open systems, that open systems are what will eventually win the day. And when we talk about open systems, what we're talking about is systems where if you own an asset in the system, you can take that asset with you anywhere. It's not locked in. So think about, for example, credit card points are a closed system because you can't take your credit card points outside the credit card issuer. But eco points are an open system because you can send them all around. They're moving all around the internet. And the other piece of an open system is that anyone can integrate the system. It's possible to add the system anywhere. So again, with eco points being an open system, anyone can add the accountant bot in their server, and all of a sudden points can move into their server, which is very cool. And with Klima, anyone can now permissionlessly integrate carbon offsets into any on-chain protocol or any on-chain project or application. And that's really, really powerful. And ultimately what we're all angling towards here is the idea that these open systems will win because of that. Because the idea that anyone can integrate and anyone can participate is what opens it up. So yeah, I think Kryptonite, what you're flagging here is the idea that eco points are an open system and Klima is an open system means that those two things can be hooked together permissionlessly and used together in any flow. It could be a house related thing. It could be anything. And I think that for us is the same thing that we're excited about. The reason we think this is a very, very long-term partnership is that when you're so aligned on how systems should work, there tend to be a lot of opportunities for crossover there.
Yeah, brilliant. I love the way you very succinctly brought down my idea to basics, which then can then extrapolate out to any scenario. So great, thanks for that. And yeah, I'm very much like-minded. I think this partnership could be mind-blowing, basically.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks for the question.
Thank you, Kryptonite. Thank you. So I think we're reaching to the end of almost the end of the AMA session. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. I will bring out on stage. Before that, I would like to ask Golan, Chaz, Slaptain, do you have any questions for Andy?
Why are you so awesome, Andy?
Because I get to work with people like you guys. It's it's like a dream job here to be able to see projects doing cool things and be able to find ways to work together. And I also think, and this is probably the same thing you guys feel, it's so much fun to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself and is actually going to create a positive change in the world and be able to contribute to that in some way. And I'm fortunate to be able to do that with Eco. That's great. So is everyone else in the Eco community. He has to do it with Klima, and it's just an awesome feeling to wake up every day and be contributing to that. Whether, I'm full-time on Eco, that's great, but there are plenty of people in the Eco community that aren't and are still contributing, with plenty of people here that aren't, full-time Klima and are still contributing. And I think that's what makes us feel good as humans is having that sort of impact. So I appreciate the question, but it's a function of the mission that we all get to work on.
Wow, thank you. I do have one question.
Also just
Golan first.
Oh no, I was just going to say, reikuman, for your question, I'm happy to see also some members of the Eco community joining us on this AMA. And, I also wanted to say from our side, like reikuman indicated in the beginning, how excited and really glad that KlimaDAO is the first new community to introduce Eco points and the accountant bot in our Discord and join the ecosystem, and want to ensure all the Econauts and Ecolites here, even though Eco points are new to us, we understand and can appreciate the high regard, enthusiasm with which you hold them, these magical Eco points that are also still a little mysterious. So, we're excited and eager to learn from all the Eco community on the great ways in which Eco points can be used to help even better coordinate towards our goal of climate action. And we're really looking forward to all the joint community activities that the masterminds over in community have planned for us.
Love it. Yeah.
I had one question. Any chance you're coming to the chess tournament?
Oh, I should come when I'll make that happen. We've got an offset this week, but let me check my schedule. I got to play the chess tournament. Yeah, I will. I'll try and be there because I would love to play.
Oh,
sounds good.
And if I play, I will send Eco points to whoever knocks me out. Bonus for whoever takes me out.
Points.
Oh, he's putting a bounty on his head.
I'm putting a bounty on my head. Yeah, it's an easy bounty to win, but we'll take it.
Yeah, we do have quite a few good chess players here, though. Yeah, so watch out. So, Seth, you have a question, right?
Yeah, I have one kind of final question here to top things off here. Andy, thanks for coming. My question is, why did you choose the name Eco? Eco for your company, for your project, for your idea?
It was it's a great question. It was kind of fated. We got it from one of our investors, a guy named Garrett Camp, who co-founded Uber and runs a fund called Expa. And he had the brand and gave it to us as part of partnering with us. And it's just an incredible name. We talk about the ecosystem, we talk about the economy, and now with this Klima partnership, we can talk about the ecology of it all. And so for us, it's just imbued with a lot of meaning. We're trying to build a better ecosystem. We're trying to build a new and different type of economy. And now we're trying to fix the ecology of the world. And so all of those things are great, and we like it a lot. And we got eco.com, so that's a good reason to have it too. Is the practical one, but yeah, it's a good one. I appreciate the question. I know we're at time here, and I need to virtually sprint over to the Eco Discord. So if anyone wants to come over there, in the Eco onboarding chat, we're going to do another AMA over there for primarily the Eco community. Would love to see any of you there. But I do just want to say how excited I am to be partnering with this community, to be finding some of the crazy sci-fi ways that were talked about towards the end of this call, the ways that we can work together and build an even deeper relationship. But even starting where we are today, us offsetting our footprint, us going and evangelizing that other companies buy Klima and do the same, and the Klima community getting some of those sweet eco points for research purposes only is a great place to start. And I'm really grateful for everyone on the Klima team, partnerships, community, everyone, core team who have helped make this happen. And we got a long road ahead of us, so we're excited for what's coming.
All right. Thank you very much,
Andy. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. So for those who are keen to listen to Andy in the post-AMA section, do drop by the Eco onboarding channel. There will be a link for you to join the Eco Discord, and you can always hop on there and listen to their post-AMA session, right? So once again, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thanks again, Golan, Slaptain, Little Yapper, and Chaz for being on stage with me. Once again, my name is Reiku. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, everyone. See some of you over in the Eco Discord, which you, again, can find in the Eco onboarding channel. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone, give us just a couple minutes. We're going to let people come in here, and then we'll get started. Also, I'm going to change this. Usually we have 24/7 lo-fi hip hop vibes going in this channel, but I'll change the name right now because that's not what we're doing for the next hour. All right, there we go. Eco Klima Partnership AMA. Give folks just one more minute to come in here, and then we'll get rolling. Okay, so as always, feel free to put questions in the Discord freeze. There we go. We're back. Feel free to put questions in the live event chat channel. That's the one we'll be watching for. So just above the main stage channel, the live event chat channel, you can post your questions in there, and we'll start going through them. Here we go. Live event chat. Yeah, I was just saying we usually have lo-fi hip hop playing in this channel. I almost wish that we still had that playing in the background while I did this AMA. We should try that out at some point, Dave. Have a lo-fi AMA. All right, I see people typing. We'll get to questions in a second. While we're waiting for questions, couple quick thoughts on this partnership from the kind of eco community perspective. And this may seed some questions. We talked a little while back during the transition from era 0 to era 1, and also when we put out some of those posts about points being the point and what are these eco points, we talked about the idea of points becoming an open system rewards currency, and the idea that points should span across communities. And I think the broadest point I would make here, and something that I think everyone should keep in mind and be thinking about, is why is there an actual line between the eco community and the Klima community, or any other community for that matter? Are those actually fundamentally different things, or are we all part of one broader worldwide community of people that have aligned interests and believe in many of the same things? And what we're doing here with the accountant bot and spreading it across different communities, and building there, is an acknowledgement of that. It's an acknowledgement that yes, we may be here in the eco Discord right now, and we may have just been in the Klima Discord over there, but it's really the same community. We're all the same people aligned around the same things, who believe in the same things. And so expanding the eco accountant bot to another Discord community is a lot like us just adding another channel in the eco community. It's an admission that there's people with a separate set of interests, or people that want to talk about something else, and there's just other places to do it, and that's all really the same. And the idea that we all live in kind of separate segregated communities, I think, is a little silly. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And so we're trying to do everything we can to bring that about and unify communities all together. And it's a big part of what we're doing here. So that's why I'm excited about this. And Klima is an amazing first partner. I think most of you probably heard me talking about them, but incredibly mission aligned and trying to bring about a better world. I think about back, I think many of you were probably there. Many months ago, we did the trash pickup challenge. That was probably 9 months ago or something, and gave away a bunch of points for people going and picking up trash and cleaning up the planet. And I think it's cool to be coming full circle and returning to that with something even more intentional with Klima here. All right, do we have any questions that I can answer on the partnership, on Klima getting eco points and how they're going to use eco points, on how we're using Klima, how we purchased Klima, how we're going to be leveraging their ecosystem, what's coming up in the future? I'm keeping an eye on the live event chat, and also if anyone wants to join the stage, you can request to come up. But live event chat. Oh, I did see one there. We said early signups would receive Klima as a reward. That is a good question. I know the Android market is missing out here. So one thing we always say, this is a question from, I actually don't even know what your username is, I am Miller, whatever that is. It's a great question. Something we say a lot is that our earliest users win with us. And that's something we really deeply care about. We say it all the time. And if you're here right now in this Discord chat, you are one of the earliest users. You're one of the earliest members, because we are still still very early here. And so even if you can't yet use the Eco app, we all win together, and we want to make sure that our earliest users win with us. So I don't know how long that Klima promotion is going to last. I would doubt that it's long enough to let us launch a Android app, but maybe we'll run a different promotion at that point and find other ways to reward Klimates who patiently waited. And so yeah, we are working on that, but I apologize that we don't support Android right now. Let's see. Lord Holdmort, why debit over credit? And is it maybe possible to borrow against Klima? Great questions. Why debit over credit? Mainly just so that we could launch it quickly. It's much faster to launch a debit card than a credit card program. And so that's the biggest factor, that we wanted to get something out and launched in the hands of our users. And debit's great for that. And you're spending from your Eco account anyway. You already have the money in your account. It's already where you have that cash. And so spending from that is good. We do want to keep evolving that and potentially launch other products. Could be a debit product, or a credit product, could be something else. But I will say that one thing that we want to be really sensitive to is that our mission is always to do right by our users and help people make the right financial decisions. And unfortunately, oftentimes credit cards come with a set of incentives and disincentives that are not good for people. And some people are fine with credit and can manage it well, and other people really struggle with it. And unfortunately, credit card business models are often predicated on people not being able to handle credit, and that some set of customers are going to treat it inappropriately and struggle with it. And so we don't want to risk falling down that river or that hill and causing damage to people. And so if we can launch a credit product or something like that at some point that is aligned with our users' best interest and we really believe is going to do right by our users, then amazing. We would love to do that. And it allows us to give better rewards because you get more interchange, so we can give our users more. But we won't do that unless we can do it in a way that is well aligned. So that is important one. And then, is it possible to borrow against My Klima? That's pretty interesting. I think one concept that I think is really cool, I would love to see the Klima community do this actually, is I don't know if everyone's seen the concept of self-repaying loans. And it's this interesting kind of crypto primitive that allows you to take out a loan that is automatically going to be repaid, but because the assets are going to be lent out productively on the back end and doesn't actually risk the principal. And so that on top of Klima would be really, really cool. I think that could be awesome. But Eco isn't going to support that quite yet. Again, we think borrowing against things can be challenging, so we got to do it in a mission aligned way and make sure that it fits things well. The user A is a great username. Asks, I've seen in the Dune analytics that we staked around 1,265 Klima. Are you planning to stake more? We're figuring out exactly what we want to do. What we have done is we've offset all of our historical emissions, triple going forward, 2022 and beyond, triple emissions through the Klima mechanism. And then we're excited to be users of Klima Infinity when that rolls out with all of its new features and retiring Klima and all of that. So we started with just doing that, but we're excited to get deeper and deeper into this ecosystem. We don't have any plans on exact kind of money that we're going to put in right now, but as we continue to deepen the partnership, there's much more we think we can do. And well, I think it's good that we've offset our emissions, triple our emissions going forward and all of that. Well, I think that's great. I think there's also a point to be made in the broader climate action community that offsetting your own emissions should be the kind of minimum expectation, because you have to admit that not everyone in the world is going to offset. It's just not going to happen. There's people that won't do it, and so in some sense, we all have a duty to do more than our fair share if we want the planet to be in the best place possible. And I think that's a belief that we subscribe to, which is part of why we're doing 3x, for 2022, our emissions, but we could go even more than that. So no direct plans, but in the abstract, something that we care about and want to commit to. Wow, Akaquack and Subspace. Very interesting Klima eco points trade. That is fascinating. That is good. Let's see. Any other questions? Teamer for Coin asks, this isn't directly about the Klima partnership, but I will answer quickly. Users get APY, but you don't understand how Eco makes this income to pay its users. Can I read something about it? So at the moment, everything may change, but at this moment, user funds are converted into USDC and lent out to institutions that are borrowing USDC and paying yield on it. So the way that that APY is put together is from that lending activity, and that I think is in the FAQs on our site, and certainly when people onboard to the Eco app, we talk about that as well. But that's how that is currently generated. I love making history. I love it. Eco Klima community doing things already. Let's see. Fazerend, will there be any opportunity for non-US residents, Russian citizens to take part in using the app? We are working on it. We don't have a timeline for that yet. One thing that we, if you spend more time in the eco community, you will see a lot is that for a lot of things in the future, we say we don't have a timeline for that. And the reason we say that, although it's somewhat frustrating to hear, is that our belief, this is a little bit different from the way I think a lot of projects in the crypto space do it. Our belief is that we shouldn't announce timelines until we are certain that we can deliver on them. And in fact, we shouldn't announce anything until we're certain that we can deliver on it. Because what we've seen a million times over, what I saw during my time at CoinList, what I've seen just looking at the industry is that everyone always makes promises, says they're going to do things, and then doesn't deliver on them. And it's not intentional. It's because it's really hard to execute on a lot of this stuff. It's not like people are maliciously lying to you and saying, hey, we'll do this, and then not doing it. But the reality is it's challenging. And so our view is we don't announce timelines until we are certain that timeline is accurate. And that's something that we stand really firmly behind. And we hope that means that everyone trusts us when we do give a timeline. When we say, hey, we're going to deliver on this, we always do. And that's important to how we operate at Eco. So there's no timeline yet for non-US residents, Russian citizens using the app, but it's something we care about. We believe Eco's for everyone, and we want to bring it there. As Dimitri says, step by step right now in the US. Let's see, we got all sorts of great emojis flying around here. I'm just scrolling through emojis. Maybe all the questions for now. Any other questions on Eco, Klima, how we're doing this partnership, how Klima is going to use points, how we're going to use Klima, how we're going to participate, what this Klima Infinity thing is. Any questions at all? Man, there's just some killer emojis flying around this. I'm realizing now that perhaps the greatest effect of the Klima Eco partnership is getting exposed to each other's emojis. Klima has some outstanding emojis that we're going to start using, and I think you guys may be feeling the same. Yeah, I mean, you keep posting this the Ranger Klima flag one. Great. We could use one of those. Okay, let's see what else we got. Great emoji. Maybe the future of DAO and community partnerships and relationships will be driven by meme exchanges and emoji exchanges. How interesting would that be if people made offerings to each other of emojis relating to their projects? All right, enough on that, but some really great ones there. Reikuman says, what are the upcoming milestones for Eco? So we have a bunch of stuff coming, and in fact, for those that are in this chat, I'll do another little alpha leak in here. We did some in the previous one. So I announced in the Klima AMA just before this that we are rolling out. We're very close to rolling out more US state coverage and onboarding people that aren't currently eligible. So that's exciting. But another alpha leak is that we're also close, within a month or two, of rolling out an entirely new Eco app with a totally updated interface and design, and it's going to be incredible. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's a big milestone for us that the team's been working really hard on. We spent most of last year shipping the Eco card and Eco bill pay, which were two big features that allowed people to use that. And then and now we've rolled out. We're about to roll out a new app that's going to change the game of consumer financial products. So that's the big upcoming milestone. And then the other big milestone that we just hit is our first real flagship partner for distributing points in other communities, which is Klima. So we're excited about that. And then we've got much more coming on the points side as well, and more stuff coming that I can't quite talk about yet. Let's see, UK launch, same, no timeline in the UK, but something we really want to do. Seth, the Civ thing, that was yeah, I was playing a little Civilization. It's a great game. I took a few hours in a long weekend and played a game of Civ. It was great. Surface, yeah, new improved app. Just wait, it's not quite Android yet. I'm sorry, Subspace. I know you've been waiting for a long time. It's going to launch on iPhone first, but it is very special. This new app that we're building, and it's going to fundamentally change the way that people interact with their money. And that, I think, is the biggest thing with the app today. The app offers you the Eco app offers you these amazing features that you can't have elsewhere. But it doesn't, by interacting with it, make you think differently about your money. And what this new version of the app is going to do is exactly that, giving you a different lens on your money and make you realize some things about how your money works and how your money works in a network with other people. And we've got some exciting stuff there. I don't play Dota 2, unfortunately. I don't, but I will play chess with the Klima community soon. For anyone in the Eco community that hasn't already joined the Klima Discord, you should go over there, join Klima, say what's up from the Eco community, and then they've got a chess tournament coming up, which everyone should participate in. I am Frank says, when onboarding, the choose appointment part has a category drop down, but the only thing it shows is Eco onboarding for those without a Discord account. Oh, Daniel's got you. Yep, go ahead and schedule it. We'll get that fixed. Nanya Carp, will we get cash back if we implement a way for using Klima to do offsets? What do you mean by that? Could we? I'm interested. I'll give points for people doing all sorts of cool stuff, especially if it involves Klima. So the answer to your question is probably yes. That if you find a cool way to use Klima, that will give you some points. But I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're saying there. Feel free to clarify if you'd like. Let's see. Yep. Oh, Tiger Lily, thanks for posting the Klima Discord invite link. Everyone should go and hang out over there, which is cool. And also for the ladies of Eco on this call, Klima has a Women in Klima channel, which is awesome. That you should go and hang out, and they're trying to build up that community. And I also think we should maybe do the same thing over here. It's a great idea. So yeah, you should go hang out in there as well. Tima, do you think we're entering the bear market? And if it is a bear market, can it affect Eco's lending programs? Great question. I hesitate to make price predictions. I don't know if we're entering a broader bear market or not. I do think there's a chance that going forward, just based on the adoption we've seen in the space recently, that bear markets look different than they used to. And so I think, as the crypto space evolves, I think it's possible that bear markets, the definition of a bear market will change. Because there's now kind of stronger hands across the space at a bunch of price levels. And I think it's possible that it looks different. So it's hard to say. I will say that we historically have not seen massive impact on crypto lending rates between bear and bull markets. There's some, but not a ton. It's actually driven more independent of price up or price down, and tends to be driven more just by kind of the nature of supply in the market for lending programs. But certainly when the market's going down, people want to borrow money as well to make trades and take different actions. And so, yeah, I wouldn't make any predictions about how it will affect the markets there. Let's see. What else we got? Chess tournament. The app is in beta. We haven't shared how many active users we have right now, although it's a fair question. We haven't shared that quite yet. We probably will soon. The app is, I'd say it's loosely in beta, although with this new app release in the next couple months, it will be a whole new product and will be truly production grade, and that will probably signal the exit from beta. I tend to think that for most tech products these days, beta is a little bit of a fuzzy concept now. Like, what exactly does that mean? But the app is in a very early state right now, and in the next couple months, it's going to step up to an entirely new sort of product and level of polish. Seth, physical eco card ship date. That is a great question. Let me ask real quick and check on where that is. We've been working with the card printer, and I think it's interesting. One of the highest friction points in building eco is where you need to interface with the existing traditional world. Anytime we're trying to do things on the crypto side of things, like this partnership with Klima, it is easy and fast, and things get done quickly. And whenever you need to interface with the traditional world, that tends not to be the case, whether that's using the ACH system to move money around, or it's getting an old school credit card printing company to print the cards. That tends to be where there are things that are a little bit slow. Wow, the McGreggy core, that's pretty good. That is good. A asks, Eco and Klima are both about ecology. Any plans of a partnership with Chia? No plans at this time of partnership with Chia, although I do think that project's really interesting. And they've done some very cool stuff, and they're kind of just steadily marching along the path of innovation and shipping constantly. And so, yeah, I'd love to find ways to explore that with them. No plans at this time, but it could be interesting. I also encourage, I think this is true for both the Klima community and the Eco community. I think I can speak for Klima here, but some of our best kind of relationships and partnerships have actually come from our communities going and doing outreach to different communities and building relationships there and teeing us up to dive in. So if there's someone that you all would like to see us work with, we'll certainly be doing the partnerships work in the back end too, but feel free to go out and try and find them yourself and get them interested, and then we can take it from there. Subspace, is there a plan for a web-based interface for the app? Yes, for sure. Again, no timeline on that, but we do recognize that a lot of people use the web, and we're getting closer and closer to that. I think for a while we didn't. It wasn't a super high priority, but it's increasingly becoming important that we offer at least some of the functionality on web, if not moving towards all of it. Surthis, can you speak to the importance of offsetting for your organization? Do you think this will help set a positive example for other organizations? Yeah, absolutely. There's almost, it's interesting because at some level, and I'm sure a lot of the people here right now feel the same way. At some level, there's almost not that much to talk about with respect to offsetting, because I just think it's fundamentally important. We generate emissions doing work that we think is really valuable, and so it's worthwhile for us to do that work. And it feels like a moral imperative to find ways to offset the damage being done there. And so I just think it's important. And for our organization, I mentioned this on the Klima Discord AMA, but the reason we hadn't done it so far was because it was hard and confusing, and we didn't have the time or energy. We're very busy running this eco thing to figure out all the ins and outs and what offsets are good and which ones aren't, and how to work it all out. And Klima made it really easy. And so I think that it sets a very positive example for other organizations. We're already evangelizing. And it's amazing. Whenever I go to other founders and I mention this to them, their reaction is, yeah, of course I want to do this, but is it easy? We don't, the offsets are not our core business. Is it easy for us to do it? And when the answer is yes, then people get very excited and interested. And so I think it will absolutely set a positive example for other organizations. Seth asks, key dates, events we should keep our eyes peeled this year. Eco Explore 3. Yeah, Eco Explore 3 will happen. We're working on the date because we want it to line up with some stuff, potentially that new app release. And so I would guess that Explore 3 is going to be in early May, would be my guess. But TBD exactly. Don't hold me to that. I'm being upfront that that's a guess. And then yeah, we got some big stuff happening this year, but not quite ready to share all the details yet. It will come in due course, but it's going to be an exciting first half of this year over the next few months. Tima, will you have offline celebrations of Eco Community Anniversary on the 3rd of March? Yeah, I know we are almost at the anniversary. It's crazy. I don't think we're planning anything offline, although Dave, if you're here and listening, we should maybe think about if there's anything we can do there. I'd definitely recommend community members do some offline stuff if they want to. But we'll definitely do some stuff in here in Discord online at minimum. Eco Klima Civ, that is a partnership I can get behind. Seth, Flex, we do love the Flexa team. Maybe there are ways to work together with them. Nanya Carp, let's say we have a way to pay via Eco for doing carbon offsets. Yeah. Could you get cash back or rewards paying via Eco for doing offsets with Klima Infinity? I think that's a possibility. The rewards would probably not be in cash back. One of the things that we care a lot about is making sure that what we're doing is sustainable, makes sense. And so, I don't know where the cash back would come from there, but points could be a reward for doing offsets via Klima Infinity. Definitely interested in that. So if there's ways to explore that, we'd be interested. I also just someone asked the question earlier about the Eco card. I'm just messaging with the Eco team right now. It seems like we are going to be shipping the physical cards in March. So this next month we'll be shipping the physical cards. I know there's been some delays, but we are almost there for Eco app users. And the cards, this is another little alpha leak teaser. The cards are very cool. So if you're an Eco app user, you'll be excited to get this card. It's pretty awesome. It is not a boring card. And I will say the card will change at some point. Right now we are on the early adopter run of cards, and so you want to get it now before it changes. Let's see. Eco on CoinList. I like Tima's response. Why don't we see CoinList on Eco? I like that flip. That's a good one. No plans for anything CoinList related right now, but I love the idea of CoinList on Eco, token sales using Eco points. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be cool. Let's see. Ildar, new partners, someone next in line. Need to keep your eyes peeled. Nothing lined up quite yet. I think this Klima partnership is going to spark a bunch of these conversations and push them forward. I think the beauty of this open system, the beauty of the accountant being across multiple servers and points being across multiple servers, is that all of a sudden network effects start to build. And now for the third community that shows up, they'll be a part of a network with 2 other communities. And for the fourth community, they'll be part of a network with 3 other communities. And so it gets more and more compelling with everyone that joins. But we don't have anything lined up right now. A bunch of conversations in progress, but nothing confirmed quite yet. Yeah, Dave asks if anyone has ideas for an offline anniversary celebration. We'd love to do it's the 1 year in 2 weeks. No, 1 week, a little over a week until the Eco Discord anniversary. So if you have any ideas, that is great. one point of clarification on the physical card. I'm just getting messages from the Eco team as we speak here. You have to opt into the physical card. So in early March, we plan to push the app update where you can opt into the card. You'll get a notification. And if you opt in, they'll ship shortly thereafter. So it should be in March. Let's see. Any other questions? Nanya Carp. They are actually not metal. We opted for not metal, but they're cool for a different reason. Everyone does the metal thing, and that's fine. But we decided to make them cool in a different way. I'm gonna not address the P Diddy questions here, although they are excellent ones. Let's see. Subspace asks, favorite Doritos. I am not a Doritos person. I hate to say it. I don't even know what the flavors are. So I couldn't answer that question. Let's see. Yeah, there's some discussion for those in the Klima community that are just chiming in. Actually, well, this is something worth mentioning for the Klima community members that are here. In Eco, we have a concept called layers. And so when you join the Eco Discord, at first, you're layer 0. When you read our introductory message and react to it, you become layer 1 and you get access to more channels. And there's layer 2. And layer 2 is given out on a discretionary basis, largely by the mods of the Eco server, who we call the prefects. So if you look over on the right side, you'll see some people with green names, prefects. Right now, Parallax and Passenger and Stefan Ballerini. There's a couple others, and they give out layer 2 for people that make meaningful contributions to the community. And so the more we can kind of attest that someone is both a real person and meaningfully contributing to the community, the more likely it is they become layer 2. When you get layer 2, you get access to a few more channels. And one of the things that's going on in one of those channels right now is that we have a research bounty where we are rewarding people who do really excellent research on DAOs and how to create DAOs and how to govern DAOs and how DAOs can come together, and answering a whole bunch of questions and working together to do so. And so, yeah, it'd be really interesting to for the people working on the DAO challenge to ask some questions of the Klima community, either in here or over in the Klima Discord, because that could be really helpful in informing some of the challenges there. Let's see, Tiger Lily, Gather Space. That's awesome. Tiger Lily, you should also check out. There's if you haven't seen it already, there's an Eco in the Metaverse channel somewhere in the channels list here, where there's some discussion if you want people to collaborate with on Metaverse stuff. There's people that are interested, so I would love to see that. Anya Carp, OG Cheetos. I'm not a Cheetos person, unfortunately. I hate to say it. I'm not big on chips and snack food like that, sadly. Let's see. I hate to disappoint. All right, messages are flying in here. Colony has launched their product. Yeah, DAO on top of DAO, Eco DAO, KlimaDAO, Next DAO, all under Meta Colony. Lots of interesting stuff there. I think there's a lot of potential in DAO collaboration. Ildar says, many new members in the team, many new roles. Eco's getting closer. Yeah, we have hired a ton of people in the last couple months, and yeah, there's some amazing stuff coming in the next few months. Josh asks, any plans to integrate Eco and Klima and vice versa? Bonding LPing Eco tokens on Klima. I don't know what you're talking about with these Eco tokens, but we got Eco points. And yeah, I think we were talking earlier, there's potentially interesting ways where people get rewarded with points for bonding and staking and retiring Klima. So that's a possibility. I think there's other ways to integrate them. And the beauty of open systems is we can do all these integrations. So no plans other than what we've announced right now, but we do want to deepen the partnership and find more ways to work together. So we are wide open for ideas on how Eco and Klima could work together. I love the idea of Eco and Klima communities doing competing against each other in some tournament. That'd be great. Frank from KlimaDAO asks, you can't be a robot and layer 2. No, that's awesome. That's exactly the point. It's kind of verified reputation. Given a lot of the people here, many of them are pseudonymous. The only way to kind of create a reputation layer, in our view, is to just watch behavior and be confident that someone is a person and is contributing. And so yeah, that's how you get to layer 2. It's been pretty awesome to have that reputation layer. Cyber guy, any plans to integrate personal budgeting tools, Mint Personal Capital for tracking your spend? Yeah, we do want to do this. It's again, integrating with the existing financial system can be challenging, but yes, we know it's a missing piece to let you import your Eco app. And so we're working on that, but haven't quite done it yet. Let's see. Reikuman, what is the true north of Eco? Wow, great question. True north of Eco is putting people's money back to work for them and rethinking how money can work to better serve the people that own it. And something we always say is that your money is not working for you in any sense of the word or any sense of the phrase. Your money's not working for you. It's working for someone else all the time. And we want to put your money back to work for you. That's the way we think things should be. And it's crazy to us that the world has evolved to a place where people are just used to their money working for someone else instead of working for them. It's just like part of living and part of finance these days. And that seems silly to us. And so, we want to put people's money back to work for them and stop it from working for other people. And so that is the true north for us. Put your money back to work for you. Or as we like to say sometimes, take your cash back. Be in control of your cash. New MS6. All good. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm just scrolling through here. Anything else? We got a bunch of good questions here. Anything else I can answer? I see several people typing. What is your favorite emoji from Milk Money? Wow, great question. I also appreciate Milk Money's commitment to the Milk Money name with that profile picture too. That's a good one. What is my favorite emoji? God, that is a tough one. That is a very tough one. I'm really trying to think here. I think, from the standard emoji set, I would say it's probably the upside down smiley face. From the Eco emoji set, there's too many good ones. I don't know if everyone's looked, but if you open your little emoji panel on the right side of the text box here and scroll to the Eco section, we just have so many good ones. I honestly don't know that I could pick one. They're useful for so many different situations, so I don't think I have one. I apologize. I wish I could answer that question. Let's see. Golan, EcoMate role in the Eco Discord. Yeah, we got to give you something. Dave's working on it. Dave is on it. EcoMate role. Any other questions? Oh, yes. Seth posted a good emoji. He always has been emoji. For those that are new to Eco, we often say Eco is inevitable. It always has been with that emoji. Any other questions? Is it possible to see Eco commit to offset X amount of carbon per Y amounts of Eco points sent? This is a really interesting question. In theory, I love that idea. I think it's really, really cool. However, here's the challenge, and I'm wide open for ideas on how to solve this, EJ. So if anyone has ideas, a lot of what we've learned in the past year in the Eco Discord is how challenging it is to figure out mechanisms for doing something based on the actions of pseudonymous people. It's a classic Sybil problem. So, for example, if you say, Eco is going to offset X carbon for every point that's sent, you and someone else, I'm not saying you would do this, but you and someone else could just send 1 point back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And all of a sudden, Eco has a $1 billion bill to offset of carbon. We can't afford that. So, well, in theory, we're interested in that idea. Hey, we might offset carbon for points that are sent. How do you actually do that in practice if there's no cost for people doing that, for people sending the points? And so what we've spent so much time on the last year in the Eco community is how do you structure bounties and things in a way that legitimate uses get rewarded and illegitimate ones don't. And we've come up with a lot of interesting heuristics around that. But yeah, if you have any ideas for how to solve that around that specific one, we could definitely be open to it. And so it's challenging. But yeah, I love the idea. The implementation is very hard. And you can see that if you look at some of the old bounties in the Eco Discord, towards the bottom of the list, we've kind of figured out how to move towards things that are harder to game. So that's a challenge. Anyway, I do think that's one of the most interesting challenges we've been trying to solve is exactly that. And one of the reasons we have this layer 2 system, I was just talking about this reputation system, is that allows us to be a little bit more flexible, where certain things can be offered to layer 2 because we know everyone there is legitimate and is a real person and all of that. Whereas in the main Discord, anyone can create 100 accounts and could game things in different ways. So it's a fun challenge. Blank slate, yeah, of course. I'm happy to be available for AMAs and answer questions and all this stuff. I'm here to answer this stuff. And community matters more than anything else. We often say that too, is nothing matters more than community. So we are here to support and answer questions. All right, Treebeard is typing. Let's see what Treebeard says. Tough question. Oh, I'm excited. Eco partners with companies that are a bit extractive and not great for employees and environment. Oh, great question. What role do you think Eco can have in the future to both inspire and nudge the Amazons and Ubers of the world to change their business models? This is an outstanding question. So here's the philosophy that we tend to have. We have all these. I'll give you a separate example, and then I'm going to come back to what you said, what you asked. We have all these posts on our website about how bad the ACH system is, and how the ACH system is broken, and is a terrible way to move money. And then, when you sign up for an Eco account, what do you have to do? You have to ACH money into your Eco account. You have to do exactly the thing that we're telling you is bad in order to use Eco. And why is that? Well, because if you want people to move from the old broken system to a new and better system, you actually need to touch the old system on the way out. There's no way out of an old system without using the old system to get out to the new thing. And so there's this great irony, which is, we hate the ACH system. We talk about how bad it is. And then you sign up for Eco, and the first thing we tell you to do is use the ACH system to send money into Eco. Now, once it's there, it's out of the system and it's better, but you did have to use it. And I would argue that your question follows a very parallel track. We are not at a point right now where we could convince people to not use certain businesses that have extractive models. People are just going to use those businesses. But what we can do is by giving people a better experience around using those businesses, like using the Eco app, we can begin to accrue power in the form of users, in the form of capital, in the form of attention. And then we can use that power to then shift behaviors, whether that's shifting the behaviors of businesses or it's shifting the behaviors of consumers to less extractive models. But unfortunately, you have to interact with the old system first. Because if we came out and said, for example, Eco is this amazing consumer financial product, you earn this, that, and the other thing. Oh, and you can't spend at Uber or Amazon. No one would use it because they're still in a world where they need to use these businesses that are extractive. And so it's about building the bridge and first letting people do what they want to do today before trying to change their behavior, and then going and trying to change those businesses or trying to give people better options. But you got to touch the old system first. And it's dissatisfying. It's a little annoying and it feels weird to have to do that. But it is what it is, and it's part of the strategy in the long term. I guess that's maybe the last thing I would say to this great question. What I just described only works if you truly have a long-term view, which we do. And if you're trying to be around for the very long run, this is the only way to do things. We think positive contagion. I like that. Yeah, that's exactly right. Positive contagion. Oh, I see the EcoMates emoji popping up on some people's faces. That's great. Thanks, Dave, for setting that up. Let's see. Nanya Carp, drive into a world with net zero carbon. Great. Marima, if you're listening, you can try to get into the Discord again. Reikuman, try to fix it. Possible Decentraland meetup for offline anniversary celebration. That sounds fun. We should do that. Ildar, have you participated in ETH Denver? I did not go this year, unfortunately. We just had a lot to do at Eco these past few weeks, so I couldn't spare the time to go and take the trip. But it is awesome. I've been to a bunch of the ETH events before, ETH global events before, and they're great. I was bummed to miss everyone there this time, but I couldn't do it this one. And Subspace, when do you see Eco becoming a mainstream product? 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? I think we'll be a mainstream product. I would argue we are in some sense, but I think you mean from an adoption standpoint. In the next couple of years, we're moving quickly towards that. So I don't think us becoming a mainstream product is the long-term thing here. I think the mainstream product will actually happen in the short term. But for us to truly fulfill our ambitions and put people's money back to work for them and do everything we want to do, that I think is what is going to take longer. And when I say long-term thinking and talk about us being a long-term oriented company, it's not about us taking a long time to achieve what we want to achieve. It's about us planning for being around for a long time once we achieve what we want to achieve and building a sustainable system that can serve people forever. And so when we talk about being long-term, it's not about long-term for us to ship things. It's about long-term for us to persist. All right, any more questions? Any more questions? Let's see. Dave, I wonder if we should have a separate role, one for the Klima team and one for Klima community members. It might make sense to have two different ones, but I'll leave that to you. YZZY, will Eco spread beyond the US? Yes. And how will problems with regulators be solved? Yeah, so that's the challenge. That's a big part of the reason we haven't spread beyond the US is not problems with regulators, but just every country and region has a different set of regulatory rules and circumstances, and you need to build the product that's compliant in each of those places, which is slightly different from the previous ones. And so we will spread beyond the US, but it's case by case. You can't have a single strategy that serves every market. There has to be an individual strategy for every single regulator and country. Azib asks, will you share some of Eco App's profits with Eco Points holders? We want Eco Points holders to be rewarded, and as we often say, our earliest users win with us. But it's hard for us to give Eco apps profits to points holders because the Eco app's profits go back to the users of the app. We want to put people's money back to work for them and reward them for their money. And so that money goes right back to them in various forms, and that's the intention of the system, so that we can all build a better, fuller ecosystem together involving both the app and points. So unlikely that we give the app's profits to points holders because the main intention is that the app's profits go back to the app's users. Ildar asks, we're working in DAO 3, where will we end up? Again, this is a reference to the DAO challenge I was mentioning earlier. Where will we end up? I don't know. It's up to you all where you end up here. And so we're just letting the community make their own decisions and find their own way past that challenge. And so I don't know exactly where that will end up. That's a good question. Let's see. I do like the Pepe salute emoji, to call back to an earlier one. It's a good one. Or the Peepo salute. All right. Any last questions? Otherwise, we are almost at the hour, and I have to get in the car and drive somewhere for a meeting in just a couple minutes here. Vadris, good vibes around the partnership. Yeah, that is super important. I will say, we are not interested in partnerships without good vibes. It's just not worth it. And the Klima community and the Klima team has such good vibes and such good intentions, and just wants to make the world a better place, just like we do. And so that makes things work. It really does. That's what powers everything, is people banding together and wanting to work towards a better world. All right. Let's see. I'll answer these last couple, and then I'm going to jump. If anyone sends something in the next 15 seconds, I'll answer it. Subspace, if you don't snack on Doritos, then what? I'm not a big snacker. I feel like I'm a huge disappointment in this AMA with these snack questions, but I'm not a big snacker. I apologize. Midnight. Next upcoming partnership, we don't have anything locked in, so it's hard for me to give you a hint or teaser, but we're in discussions with a bunch of people, different projects, whether they're DAOs like Klima or companies, all sorts of interesting things going on. But I wish I could give you a hint, but we don't know who it is yet, so I can't give you a hint. That is it. Bit Dealer says there was a lot of noise today. I'll take that as a good thing. All right. Steak, chicken, or pork? Steak. Easy. All right. We're going to close out on that. Thanks for coming, everyone listening. It's been a long couple hours of AMAs here, but for everyone that was here for both of them, I appreciate all the time. And if you have questions, as always, we're around in Discord. Just ping us in general or wherever. Super excited to welcome the Klimates to the mix. And they're doing incredible things. Again, for anyone that hasn't already joined the Klima Discord, or is not already a Klima holder themselves, I'd recommend you do both those things and go hang out with the Good Vibes crew. But thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Keep your eyes peeled. As always, remember, the moon is not enough. It never was. And I look forward to talking with you all again soon. Bye, everyone.